today we are going to see the post fertilization changes, in that especially the endosperm. We are going to discuss the endosperm today. Endosperm. In the embryo sac, this is the embryo sac. Here two synergids, one egg and two synergids. This is the primary endosperm nucleus. These are antipodals. During the fertilization, two male gametes are liberated here in the synergids. In that, one will fertilize the egg. So, the egg will be developed into zygote. And another one male gamete, that is sperm, will go and fertilize here, that is fused with the primary endosperm nucleus. This is the primary endosperm nucleus. So, in most of the angiosperm, before the zygote development, the primary endosperm nucleus starts to divide and it develops into endosperm. Before the zygote starts its division, the primary endosperm nucleus starts its divisions and it develops into endosperm. Here the fusion of three nuclei exists. Two polar nuclei plus one sperm nucleus. Two polar nuclei and one sperm nucleus fused here. So, here three nuclei exist. That is why it is called triple fusion. So, the endosperm consists of 3n number of chromosome. Because of the result of triple fusion, the endosperm consists of 3n number of chromosomes and it is a nutritive tissue. And regulatory structure. It is a nutritive tissue. This endosperm, developing endosperm, is a nutritive tissue and regulatory structure for the zygote. The zygote to develop into embryo, this will act as a nutritive tissue. It gives the nourishment to the developing embryo. According to the mode of development, there are three types of endosperms in the angiosperms that we are going to see now. Types of endosperm. According to the development, there are three types of endosperms are there. One is nuclear endosperm, cellular endosperm, and a helobial endosperm. So, there are three types of endosperms are there. One is nuclear endosperm and cellular endosperm and helobial endosperm. First, we are going to see the nuclear endosperm. In the nuclear endosperm, this is the developing embryo here, and the whole structure is embryo sac. The primary endosperm nucleus will start to divide, that is repeated mitotic divisions will occur, so that number of nuclei will be produced here. But there is no cell wall formation after the nuclear division. Only the nuclei exist in free condition within this. That is why it is called nuclear endosperm. Only the nuclei exist in free condition here in the cellular endosperm. Examples are Coccinia, Capsella and Arachis are examples for nuclear endosperm. Only thing, main thing is here there is no wall formation, only nuclei exist in free condition. Examples are Coccinia, Capsella and Arachis are the examples. Now we are going to see the cellular endosperm. In the cellular endosperm, the PEN, primary endosperm nucleus, starts to divide and divides into two nuclei. Immediately the wall formation occurs. Then this again it starts, simultaneous division starts, so that repeated number of cells will be produced here, and with the wall formation, here wall formation occurs. In the nuclear endosperm, there is no wall formation, the nuclei exists in free condition, but here after the nuclear division immediately the wall formation occurs. Examples are Adoxa, Helianthus and Scoparia. Adoxa, Helianthus and Scoparia are examples for cellular endosperm. Why it is called cellular means, as soon as the nuclear division, immediately the wall formation occurs. So that is why it is called the cellular endosperm. Now we are going to see the helobial endosperm. What is meant by helobial endosperm? We will see. Helobial endosperm. In helobial endosperm, the primary endosperm nucleus will start to divide and form two nuclei. The wall formation leads to two chamber. Wall formation in between the two nuclei leads to two chamber. One is large micropylar chamber. Large micropylar chamber and small Chalazal chamber. So once again I will tell you, the primary endosperm nucleus divides into two nuclei. That means first primary endosperm nucleus move towards the base and divides into two nuclei, and as soon as the nuclei formation, the wall formation occurs. Because of the wall formation, two chambers are being provided here. One chamber is large towards the micropylar end and another chamber is small towards the chalazal end. In the micropylar end, the nuclei which exist here starts to divide, and number of free nuclear formation occurs. Only free nuclear, there is no wall formation here, only free nuclei exist here in the large micropylar chamber. In the small chalazal chamber, the nuclei which exist here, it may divide or may not divide here. So when it divides, the structure will be like this. So this is a large chamber and this is the smaller one. Here division may occur or may not occur. Here the free nuclear condition is there, only there is no wall formation surrounding the nuclei which exists here. Here surrounding this nuclei, wall formation occurs. So this is the difference between the two chambers. Examples are Vallisneria and Hydrilla. Examples are Vallisneria and Hydrilla. So far we have seen the types of endosperm. One is nuclear endosperm, cellular endosperm and helobial endosperm. These are the three endosperms found in angiosperms. Apart from these three endosperm, one more type of endosperm is found, that is called ruminate endosperm. In the ruminate endosperm, the surface of the endosperm is not regular, irregularity or unevenness in its surface. That is called ruminate endosperm. If it is an endosperm, the surface is not regular, irregularity in its surface or unevenness like this. That is why it is called ruminate endosperm. This unevenness is due to the seed coat intrude into the endosperm. That is why it looks like unevenness. This is called ruminate endosperm. Examples for the ruminate endosperm: Areca catechu, Passiflora and Myristica. The examples are Areca catechu and Passiflora and Myristica. These are the example for ruminate endosperm. Now we are going to see endospermous seeds, otherwise albuminous seeds or albuminous seeds. Another type is there, non-endospermous or X albuminous, X albuminous seeds, non-endospermous seeds, otherwise it is called X albuminous seeds. In the non-endospermous seeds, all the endosperms will be consumed by the developing embryo. Embryo consumes all endosperms. All endosperms, entire endosperm is consumed by the embryo for its development. So the seed does not contains the endosperm. This type is called non-endospermous seeds or X albuminous seeds. So in the seed there is no endosperm. But in endospermous seeds or albuminous seeds, the mature seeds consist of endosperm. So here the endosperm is present in the mature seeds. Here endosperm is absent because entirely it is consumed by the developing embryo here, but here in the mature seeds the endosperm is present. During the germination, the seed will use the endosperm. Here the developing embryo consumes all the endosperm, but here in the mature seeds the endosperm is present, that will be utilized during the germination of the seeds. That is the difference between the X albuminous and albuminous seeds. Example for X albuminous seeds are bean, groundnut and peas. For albuminous seeds, paddy, castor and coconut are examples for albuminous seeds. In coconut, this is the white portion. The entire portion is white portion, that is the kernel. Kernel of the coconut, and here water is present. Coconut water in the tender coconut. Coconut water is example for nuclear endosperm, that is free nuclear endosperm. Very important point this is. The coconut water in the tender coconut is free nuclear endosperm. The white kernel, this region, this is cellular endosperm. These 2 points are very important for examination point of view. Sometimes it may be asked, the endosperm of the coconut is 3n number of chromosomes. Number of chromosomes. In the examination point of view, need based question, what is the ploidity of tender coconut water may be asked. So it consists of 3n number of chromosome because of the triple fusion, 2 polar nuclei and 1 sperm nucleus joined together form the 3 nuclei. That is why the endosperm is the product of triple fusion. That is why it is consists of 3n number of chromosomes. So tender coconut water is also example for 3n number of chromosomes. Functions of endosperm. Already I told you the endosperm is the nutritive tissue for the developing embryo. So nutritive tissue for the developing embryo. In most of the angiosperms, endosperm develops before the zygote division. That means development. Before the zygote starts its development, the endosperm developed in most of the angiosperm. And the endosperm regulates the precise means exact mode of embryo development. So functions of endosperm, it is a nutritive tissue for the developing embryo. In angiosperm, first the endosperm completely develop before the zygote starts its division. That means development. In the endosperm regulates the exact embryo development, that is precise means exact mode of embryonic development. These are the functions of endosperm. I hope students it is very clear for you the endosperm and its types and the functions of endosperms, especially in the coconut. The coconut water is a result of the triple fusion. It consists of 3n number of chromosomes. That is very important for the examination point of view, and I think it will be very helpful for you also. Thank you students. All the best.